career most probably doesn't stack up to a genuine free-for-all like this Australian Cup heat is.
Millie, Group 1 winner on top for you, Nath, for our Sky 1 audience.
Yeah, she's clearly on top for me. Well, not clearly, but I think she's on top because she should be the pacemaker, and that's where you need to be. It's a high-quality race, and if you can get out and get off and gone in front and run your 29.7s to 29.8s, which she has produced here recently, I think that's where you need to be, and at $3, I think she represents value in doing so.
Patch?
Thanks, Mark, with Des Douch, and here comes Millie. And Des, I'm not going to ask how she's going because she's going well and she's racing consistently, but the makeup of this field, how much confidence does it give you with her?
Oh, I wanted to jump to the front, mate, and then she'll be hard to beat then, but she has to lead to win it.
Good luck to Desi there. Let's have a quick chat to Luke Thompson. Luke, field day, he needs room. If he gets room, he gets out, he absolutely goes like a rocket. How does this makeup of the field look in terms of his first 50 metres?
Yeah, it looks suitable for him. It only really looks like here comes Millie. He's got pretty reliable speed, so hopefully he can just step cleanly, get that room early, and yeah, show what he's made of.
Good luck to the Thompsons there with field day. I'll quickly get a comment from Jess Hopkins, who has Kenya All Class, who drops, well, he's unsuitably in some ways over the 500 metres. Jess, box 8, what sort of concerns do you have with that?
The first turn. But look, he handles any box really. He'll take a gap wherever it is, but look, he's going to get room. Hopefully we're within striking distance up the back.
He fell last week. Has that seemed to have any impact on him this week?
No, none. None. He was spot on. He got looked over a few times, and I looked for any excuse I could to not run him, and there was none. He's spot on, so just needs a clear run.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Jess Hopkins there with Kenya All Class, guys. Good race this, and obviously a couple of main chances as the market tells us, but some pretty handy dogs drawn wide too.
Exactly what you said. Jess Hopkins wouldn't be running the dog if he wasn't right. Kenya All Class. 280 favourite. Here comes Millie Nath. Field day's out to 290 and now second favourite. There's been good support for Kenya All Class. 850 into 5. Your numbers again?
2, 4, 7 and 8. I thought Here Comes Millie might hold the key being the early speed, but Field Day's certainly a grand campaigner. So is Orly Bale and Kenya All Class.
Here's James.
So 280 joint favourites. Here comes Millie and Field Day. They're inseparable in the market. Let's see if they can separate in the race. The green light, heat 5, they're set. And they're racing. Here comes Millie, only fair away. Going out fast, Irish Lucy, showing good speed, Kiwi J. And Kenya All Class looping the field. Down went Kane Bale. To the back, it's Irish Lucy, the leader. But look at Kenya All Class get to second. And he's starting to hone in the stayer. Then Kiwi J over. Here comes Millie, Orly Bale. A minute back to Field Day. And at the end of the field, Intrepid Bale off the back. It's Irish Lucy. A length to Kenya All Class. The Top Gun Stayers winner is going to zoom away and win that magnificently. Kenya All Class, far too good by 3 lengths over Irish Lucy. Third Kiwi J, then Here Comes Millie, followed by Intrepid Bale, Field Day, and Kane Bale took a tumble, but he looks okay. 29.99. What a run, Kenya All Class.
What a run, Kenya All Class indeed. Jess Hopkins, is that a relief after such an emotional week after what happened last week?
Yeah, I am holding it back at the moment. I'm just in awe of him. You know, I didn't have a chance to give him a look in between to get him through that turn after last week. And I don't know what more to say about this dog. I know he hasn't really blown up the clock tonight, but he nearly got knocked over again here tonight. And thankfully, the dog that did is fine. But he's just remarkable. Like, he stayed out and then he come across. And I think it's the first time I've cheered a dog home that's not in that Group 1.
He's unreal and he's through to a semi. Lost for words. Does this throw a spanner in the works from a planning point of view? Because I've got no doubt the goal would have been the Rookie Rebel in the last week. So is it somewhat a spanner in the works, or it's just who cares? We'll see what happens next week and go from there. Yeah,
it's pretty much, you know, we've got a free throw at the stumps. The prelude was next week for the Rookie Rebel, but we're obviously going to be in a semi of the Cup now. And we'll, if he doesn't make the final, he'll go to the Rookie Rebel and then probably head up to Dubbo. That's the aim. We'll head up to Dubbo, and yeah, I think he began okay tonight. It's hard to see on that short, but it is just a big relief. I copped a bit of flack off a few people here last week behind my back that I dropped him back after he'd fallen. I sort of stuck with my plan. I would have cooked him, running him over 700. I know, sort of seems ideal, but his health's the most important thing, and that he's going to be fine in the morning and not flat as attack. So instead of running in a Zoom top, we're in a Cup heat and we're winning a heat. So it's good that he's versatile, but it also keeps me up at night, not knowing what race to run him in. and people think it's actually better, but I'm not sure it is. But it helps that I can't really stuff it up. He'll get me out of anything, this dog.
Well, in the words of EJ Whitten, you stuck it right up him. With him dropping back to 500 metres and now being a bit of a season stage, you have to put more work into him during the week to get him right for his sprint races?
No, his work's the same whether he's running 700 or 500. You can't stop him galloping. He just wants to run. So I sent the boys a video on Wednesday of him having a gallop, and it was quite funny, me yelling at him, trying to get him to stop. He's just a dog who loves to run, whether that's race or just a free gallop. Like, there's no lure, and he just won't stop running. So it works the same, and hopefully that'll do his confidence a world of good too.
Give him a hug. Good job.
Thank you.
Jess Hopkins there, boys. Kenya All Class, top performance from a top greyhound.
29.982, and well, it was the market mover. Punters have been bang on the money this evening with a few of their bets, and that was one of them. Jess said the first turn is what I was so worried about, and ended up going real wide but missed all the carnage, Nate.
Yeah, he did, and box 8 really did suit him. He's got a good record off the pink, and he bounced back last week. He was really close. He most probably would have won the free-for-all here last week if he got through the corner. He was I think, third or fourth at the point of the corner when he hit some trouble. But as we get to see on the head on, he just used box 8 to advantage, and box 7 in Orley Bale began okay and wanted to get down, and then there was just some clustering down by the fence. Irish Lucy was off and gone, and once they come out of the catching pen and hit the 731 metre boxes, you could see Kenya All Class was hot in pursuit, and you know how fast he is. He's a 700 metre winner. He was going to be doing his best work late, and when you've got a 40-1 pot out in front as a bit of a guinea pig for him, he was always going to get him, and he was able to pick him up and then run past him in the run to the line. He goes through. He's going to need luck again next week, though, isn't he? Yeah. He's going to need a lot of luck, but really good to see a Group 1 winner bounce back after an incident last week.
Spot on.
Full of confidence. Yeah. We talked about pre-race, knowing how well Jess cares for her dogs, and she would have left no stone unturned, and she nearly wanted to, by the sound of the pre-race interview, wanted to scratch him, but she had no reason to tell everybody.
It almost would have been a default mentality, wouldn't it, Nate?
Yep.
To fall like that, which she hasn't done before.
Yep.
To put him in cotton wool and see what happens. But good on her, zipping him back in.
Yeah, and even cotton wool going, okay, 500 is not his caper. We know he's not a 500 metre dog. We don't want to put him in a situation where he could get in trouble again. And if that's...
Which almost happened.
Well, he used box 8 to perfection here tonight, but now she's got to deal with that next week, because the class of dog that she'll be against next week will be quite high. There'll be a lot of speed going in the corner, and you'd be imagining she's not going to draw box 8 again, is she? So if she draws middle next week, then she's going to have her heart in her mouth about him getting around and getting through. I still think the Rookie Rebel in a fortnight's time's, going to be true right for him. But while he's there, he can certainly make his presence felt, especially if he gets through the corner in striking distance. His last half of his race is going to be the strongest, and it wouldn't surprise to see him finish off and maybe run second in a heat next week and then make the final, So there was talk about him going, back to 500 for the Phoenix only a few months ago. So he's certainly fast enough, and it's just good to see good dogs do the right things and get back into the winners list.
What about Field Day? And here comes Millie, the greyhounds at the top of betting. Missed away Field Day quite obviously, and so did Here Comes Millie.
I'd have to see it again, but Field Day, you're right, just didn't begin anywhere near as well as what he needed to. Here Comes Millie's point of view, Nath. You would have had a closer eye on her than I did. Yeah,
I had a closer eye on her, and she was beaten out by Kiwi J and Irish Lucy off the mat for the first couple of strides, and then by them dogs matched her to try to push through the middle. So I think the key to that race, and I said to Mark off air that if Here Comes Millie could have hit the lids and ran along, she most probably wins the race. Irish Lucy almost did that by pinching it off the red, and she most probably doesn't have the ability that Here Comes Millie did. But Des Douch was right. She had to lead to win, and she didn't nail the start. And then from there, Irish Millie was able to drive through, hold the lead, put a bit of a gap on them while there was some interference. But then the first dog you look back in pursuit was Kenya All Class, and you knew who was going to be stronger in the run to the line.
Here's the replay we can see on the screen. Yeah, just crowded up early, both of them in a very similar spot. It was carnage, really.
Yeah, there was. I think Orley Bale most probably made a lot of that carnage, and he most probably, in the end, made the race for Kenya All Class. He began on terms and wanted to get down to the fence. We've left Kenya All Class a clear unimpeded run down the outside. You see at the corner, he's the one that gets in Field Day's way as Field Day's starting to build momentum, and Here Comes Millie just didn't begin like we know she can. She's a 5-0 greyhound when she gets it right. She just didn't get it right tonight when it counted.
One thing I've noticed about Kenya All Class, Nathan, it's something that I don't often see in greyhounds, is that when he started racing, he was a slow beginner, worked hard, needed in